নমস্কাৰ ওয়েলকাম টু মাই চেনেল গেট Ctet। আজি আমি পেডাগজিৰ কেইটামান কোৱেশ্চন আলোচনা কৰিম, তো নিশ্চয় ভিডিঅ'টো শেষলৈকে চাই থাকিব। আৰু প্ৰত্যেকটো কোৱেশ্চনৰ এনসাৰ আমাৰ চেন্ট্ৰেল টেটৰ যেটো ফাইনেল এনসাৰ কি সেইটোৰ ওপৰত বেছ কৰি এনসাৰবিলাক লোৱা হৈছে। তো ইয়াত একো ডাউটৰ কথা নাই। Okay, let's start from the first question. According to Piaget, the four qualitatively different stages, first option, are independent upon the genetic code of the children. Second, represent universal pattern of development of children. Third, illustrate that children mind are miniature adult mind. Fourth, vary vastly across the various cultures in the world. The correct option is 2. Represent universal pattern of development of children. Next question. Lev Vygotsky believed that development. First option, result directly from maturation. Second, result directly from social interaction. Third, is an unfolding of genetic programming. Fourth, is discontinuous in nature. The correct option is second, result in directly from social interaction. Next question, which of the following is a limitation of Piaget theory of cognitive development? First option, it does not account for the role of biological factor in cognitive development. Second, it does not account for the influence of culture and social factor on cognitive development. Third, it does not account for individual differences in cognitive development. Fourth, it overemphasizes the role of language in cognitive development. The correct answer is second option. It does not account for the influence of culture and social factor on cognitive development. Next question. Read the following statement and choose the correct option. Assertion or reason. Assertion, every year Lata, a class 8 teacher invites a female maths professor and a male nurse to her class to discuss career in this field. Reason, gender differences are innate and not acquired through society. The correct option is fourth. A is true but B is R is fault. Next question, which of the following questions promotes critical and creative thinking in children? First option, how many states and how many capital are there in our country? Second, what is the name of our country and its geographical location on the map? Third, where does water come from in our city? Fourth, which can be the best way to save water and why? The correct option is fourth, which can be the best way to save water and why. Next, what does inclusive education entail? First option, provisioning of only vocational education to learners with physical needs. Second, flexibility in the curriculum as a result of cognition of individual differences. Third, segregation and categorization students on the basis of their abilities. Next question, what is the role of evidence in critical thinking? First option, evidence is irrelevant to critical thinking. Second, evidence should be ignored in favor of personal opinion. Third, evidence should be accepted without analysis. Fourth, evidence should be evaluated in a logical and systematic way. The correct option is fourth, evidence should be evaluated in a logical and systematic way. Next, assertion reason question. Assertion: Jean Piaget and Lev Vygotsky differ in their perspective on the influence of language on cognitive development in children. Reason: in discovery learning, teacher provide opportunities and student drive information for themselves. The correct option is third. Both A and R are true, but R is not the correct explanation of A. Next question, assertion reason. Assertion: considerable variation exists in developmental rates among children. Reason: developmental differences are an inevitable result of complex interaction of genetic and experiential variation. Correct option is second. Both A and R are true, and R is the correct explanation of A. Next, siblings relationships. First option: plays an important role only during early childhood. Second, do not have much role in socialization. Third, are similar to relationship with parents and peers and plays an important role in socialization throughout children. Fourth, are different than relationship with parents and peers and play an important role in socialization throughout childhood. The correct option is fourth, are different than relationship with parents and peers and play an important role in socialization throughout childhood. Next question. Which principle of development is illustrated in the following statement? Childhood who are deprived of a conducive environment for learning language in their early years have some difficulty in picking language later in life. First option: development is disorderly and unpredictable. Second, there is a sensitive period of language development. Third, language and cognitive are complexly interrelated. Fourth, development of language is totally dependent on genetic. The correct option is second. There is a sensitive period of language development. Next question. Assertion reason. Assertion: teachers should ask students to identify their own examples and non-examples of the concept for strengthening the concept. Reason: thinking of example leads to strengthening of the concept, while non-examples tend to confuse the student. The correct option is fourth. A is true, but R is false. Next, general principles of learning suggest that students learn better if a teacher. First option: first introduces the concept overall and then moves on to the intricacies of it. Second, first discusses the concept in terms of logic and reason and then grant opportunity to verify the ideas. Third, first discusses what is not known to the student and then comes to what the student already knows. Fourth, first introduces the concept in its symbolic form and then moves to its physical form. The correct option is first option. First introduces the concept overall and then moves on to the intricacies of it. Next, a teacher wants to help her student develop Metacognitive skill. Which of the following strategies would be most effective? First option, assigning text to student to memorize and encouraging them to repeat information from the textbook. Second, providing a student with detailed and prescriptive instruction for all learning tasks. Third, encouraging a student to reflect on their own learning and evaluate their progress. Fourth, providing frequent grades and feedback to motivate student. The correct option is third option. Encouraging a student to reflect on their own learning and evaluate their progress. Next or last question. In the context of inclusion, curriculum learning expected are the same in dash while in dash they are different. First option, acceleration, enrichment, accommodation. Second, accommodation, modification. Third, modification, accommodation. Fourth, enrichment, acceleration. The correct option is accommodation and modification. Second option. Thank you everyone.